Well, here we go. New segment. I don't know what you call it for hockey. I know it's the penalty box, 2-minute major, 2-minute minor, 5-minute major, but I like it. Major or minor? Sam, take it away.
You got it. Did you see the bottom of the ninth at Target Field last night? The Twins go in down 4-3. They've got a couple guys on base. Miguel Sano at the plate. Hits one off the right fielder's glove. So there's blunder number one. And then the ball comes into the infield. Twins are stuck between the base paths. Catcher throws it a mile over the third baseman's head into left field. Blunder number two. 2-run score, the Twins win. What kind of penalty does Detroit's defense deserve?
Well, Detroit is now in the top 5 worst cities to date, and now they are also in the bad news bears category of stupidity. You have to blame it on the catcher. Now, right fielder, make that catch, jump up a little higher, make the catch, stop it. But once you have the guys running around the base path, completely confused, just let them go. I've always been taught, make them go back to their base. Now, that's the problem. As they're going back to their bases, just live to fight another day. Live to fight. You're not going to throw that guy out. Live to fight another day. Let the bases get loaded. And, of course, I'm talking from a Detroit sports fan's thought process. I know the Twins fans are happy he's an idiot. But you have to just let them go back to third, let him go back to second, let him go back to first. Now, what I was not sure of, was there 2 outs or 1 out in that point?
There's 1 out.
Yeah.
1 out.
So the fact that there was 1 out, there's no, unless, because I get trying to get the guy in the rundown. If you can, because the guy so if there is 2 outs, for instance, and you sacrifice the run to tie it, and this is where it gets dicey. Now you're trying to get that other guy in the rundown on second and third, between second and third, to try to get him out. And then at that point, now you're playing for extra innings, and I don't know if they're going to do that, put a man on second deal right now, or if that was just when it was a
they still do
or whatever. Okay,
they still do.
So international rules, international overtime or extra innings rules. You can play that way, or just say, look, we're winning 4-3. Let's load the bases because now there's already been a hit. Let's leave them loaded. Now any base is an out. We can possibly turn a double play because if a pitcher is on point and he's throwing to where he's supposed to throw, and if his coach is saying this batter, put it here, keep it out of this zone, let's put it left corner, lower left corner. That's going to force him to, jam. If he's a right-handed batter, it's going to jam him up. He's going to put it on the ground. We can turn a double play. Game over. That's what the Tigers should have done. It was a dumb play. That's a 5-minute major for me.
See, I think the throw itself is a 5-minute major. Awful throw. Wasn't even close. He kind of a short arm flipped it over his head. Just really, really bad. I don't hate the decision to make the throw because I don't think you can willingly accept bases loaded 1 out. I think you have to try to get that out. Now, it does get messy because then if the runner on third starts dancing down the line, then you're throwing it from second to home, or you're trying to handle multiple rundowns at once, and bad stuff can happen. But I think you have to try to get 1 out there, get 2 outs then on the board, keep the run off the board, and then take your chances with the next batter. I'm not sure who that was going to be. Okay. So I'm gonna go 2-minute minor. I'm gonna go 2-minute minor. The throw itself was awful, but the decision I'm okay with. DAngelo Russells gets the ball after Morant's 3. The Wolves are down by 1. D'Lo plays hero ball. He dribbles around the 3-point line. He penetrates, has a fadeaway bank shot attempt, not even close. And the Grizzlies went up by 3 after the free throws. So what did you think about DAngelo Russells' heroic effort to try to win that game toward the end?
Yeah. So for me, again, I've always talked about D'Lo, shooting his shot, being a part of the game. You have to look at the flow of the game, though. I think he totally, and again, this goes back to Charles Barkley. That was just a dumb play. He totally missed what was going in the game. Anthony Edwards was hot, 22 points, was absolutely can get to the basket anytime he wants. Karl-Anthony Towns If you do that play where he comes up to the top of the key, you use him, you pass it to him, see what your guy's going to do. They might try to double. Let Karl use his butt like he did before to set the pick as you run around him, and then he can possibly dump it to you for an easy layup. Get into your offense. And that's my problem with that. So I am going to go 2-minute minor. Why? Because they do need DAngelo Russells to do it. He had 8 assists, 12 points. He was playing a pretty decent game. He had not done, one of the threes he took, I thought he shouldn't have taken because he just was throwing it up, but that's his game. Because at the same time he did that hot potato 3 and he made it. So with D'Lo, you take the good with the bad. That's the facts of life. The thing I think most about the overall, though, that stretch, slow it down. Like, slow it down. You know what you need out of this. You have to be able to give it to Karl-Anthony Towns. Only down 1, you need the layup. You need a play. Like, that to me, and I get it. I think it was like 25 seconds. So I think the thought was, let's hurry up and get up a shot. Possibly, if we miss it, we still have time to get the rebound and put it back up. I just think at that point, there was nobody really under there to it wasn't set where guys were ready to rebound. You got to kind of get your play set so everybody knows what's going on. If you're going to lose it, maybe lose it with you taking the last shot and giving the Grizzlies no time. Like that, and that didn't work either. We gave them 3 seconds. But I just think there could have been a better opportunity there, a better play there, where it should have gone through Anthony Edwards or Karl-Anthony Towns. But yeah, that's why I give it a 2-minute minor.
Yeah, I give it the 5-minute major. Honestly, I look at the quality of the shot. If it had been a good look, then I'm okay with it, because even though Russell wasn't having the best game, he still can hit those shots. But a contested fadeaway mid-range, when you don't even give Towns and Edwards the opportunity to attack. I think that in that situation, you try to get to the basket, or try to get to the basket, kick it out for an open look at 3. There was just no ball movement on the possession, and I think Edwards is probably the third option there. It's got to be Cat number 1, it's got to be Edwards number 2, or vice versa. But Russell taking it into his own hands there, I didn't like. 5-minute major.
Okay.
All right, golf question, Ron. So here's the backstory for those that aren't familiar. Phil Mickelson made some pretty controversial comments a couple months ago about the Saudi Golf League, which is this heavily financed league trying to lure big players away from the PGA Tour. He basically said that, yeah, the Saudis are, scary people, but I'm going to join this league and try to make a statement to the PGA Tour. Well, he is, after some time off from the tour, he has officially filed to play in this new Saudi Golf League. So is Mickelson's decision, Ron, is it a 5-minute major, 2-minute minor, or no penalty?
I'm going to go 5-minute major for a few reasons. You can't just call people scary. Like, come on now. Like, there's bad people everywhere. Like, you can't just call it. That's like saying, the U.S., because all the mass shootings and all this stuff. Oh, man, I'm not going to a high school, man, in Colorado. It's scary out there. Like, you can't just do that. That one there for me got me to start it. 2, no one person is bigger than a league. Now, Tiger Woods, I kind of see it, but there's the thing. Golf still's going on. Guys are still getting paid. Purses are still getting big. Are they as big as some of the ones Tiger bought because of the amount of sponsors and the number of viewers and all that crap? No, we haven't seen that since Tiger. But the money's still happening. The FedEx Cup still goes on. Golfers are still out there. Everybody's still excited about the majors. For Phil Mickelson to think like it's going to change. Now, this is the one thing I will say. If you look at the NCAA, Mark Emmert is retiring after 12 years, or stepping down after 12 years. Because in the comment is what got me. Because the scope of the direction of this NIL is not what we kind of set up and not what we were doing. And they need to find somebody to take them into this next world of NCAA, which is, how do we monitor these players? Everybody's always said the NCAA was a horrible ownership, I guess you want to call it. The way they monopolized players, the way they got greedy rich off the backs of these players and athletes that weren't getting paid. Now, yes, free school, great. But what people don't understand is the amount of time that goes into that free school. If you do the hours, and somebody broke it down before, it's the amount of money you get for free school versus the amount of time you have to put in. Is it worth it? Who knows? Now, guys going to the NFL, guys going to the NBA, girls going to the WNBA, girls going to play, USA softball, Olympic track, all that stuff. But there's not a ton of money in there for everybody. Like there's 1% of less than 1% of the people make it to the pros. So they're going out and having to get jobs. Do they have the skills already set? So when I look at Phil Mickelson saying he's bigger than that, I think it looks at that like what it's almost assuming that it's not going to go without you, like the NCAA. Like if Mark Emmert were to change this, the NCAA is not going to go. It's going to go. The golf is going to go. Like, is it going to change players looking at other leagues now? Maybe. Yeah. Is the PGA going to have to maybe listen to the players a little more? Possibly. Is Phil Mickelson going to start a revolution? Probably not. I don't think there's going to be a ton of golfers that are going to want to jump leagues. I think, and you kind of pointed this out, I think it's money. I think it's greed. I think they're giving them the right dollar amount because they're trying to get people to watch their league now. When Phil Mickelson enters into their arena, their viewership is going to increase because he is a big U.S. name. He's a big golfer name around the world. Maybe a couple guys will follow, but I don't think it's going to be this huge shift in the near future. Now, maybe in the future when, like I said, if 10 golfers get together, say, hey, man, let's all go join this league. They're going to pay us X. And then I could see the Saudi league trying to set up something with the PGA to say we're going to have a playoff, kind of like the U.S. versus other countries with the Ryder Cup. I could see that. Happening. But yeah, I think Phil Mickelson is all about the money. He's all about himself. This has nothing to do with changing it overall. It's, hey, they offered you a ton of money, take it. Nothing wrong with that. I'll never count a man's money. I'm gonna say, but I still say for the comments, it's a 5-minute major.
Yeah, the whole thing is very twisted to me, and I'm not sure exactly what Mickelson's end goal is because, I think he still wants to play in the big events on the PGA Tour. Like, I don't think he has quite the cojones to leave entirely. I think he's still going to ask the PGA Tour, hey, can I still play in the Masters and PGA Championship and the U.S. Open? I think he just wants the best of both worlds, and I think you're right. I think he thinks maybe a little more highly of his own influence here because most of the other top players in the world are not budging from the PGA Tour, so I don't know if it's going to have a huge impact.